Tres, dos, uno. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog. It's a weekly show about video games old and new. My name is Tyler Everett. This is episode 72. Welcome. 72. It's not a prime number, but I got Brian Maxwell with me and he's pretty fantastic. How's it going, Brian?
Happy Saturday.
Happy video. I got video back. It's a Saturday.
Happy video.
Happy video, everyone.
Happy video to you all. Out there in video.
Out there in video tube. Joining us on the video tube is also one Aaron Kring. How's it going?
Hey, it's a thing. It's going.
Sure is, it is that. And we got Luke Phillips, the one, the only.
Hey.
Fresh from movie theater.
Yeah.
Did you
Saw
get
A Quiet Place?
A Quiet Place?
Yep.
Was it good? Did you enjoy yourself?
Overall, yes. Yeah, it was a good movie.
Okay.
Pretty tense. Good acting. Ending was
Yeah. Had a beginning, a middle, and an end. That Brian asking the real questions. There it is. Brain trust.
Did you like it?
The what?
The popcorn. How was it?
The popped corn.
Let's be honest. It really doesn't matter if Luke liked it. Would Tyler have liked it?
I did not have the popcorn.
Oh my.
Wrong answer. Wrong.
Can you mute
answer.
him, please?
I got pretzel bites with beer cheese.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
It wasn't
It
bad.
also sounds wrong.
Which theater did you go to? Look, I heard you were up in my neck of the woods.
Sperry's.
Yeah. That Sperry's theater is pretty great.
It's quaint. They bring food right to you.
Here's the thing. Like, all of the movie theaters in our sleepy little town of Port Huron here kind of sucked. And then Sperry's came in, and see, this is capitalism at work. This company's trying to sell movie theater seats. So they're like, why don't we just build a really cool theater and it'll be like a showroom for all our seats. And so they got these sweet leather recliners in all the theaters, and like all the other theaters in town were like, well, shit, now we got to step our game up. And everybody stepped up, and now everyone's got great, cool recliner seats in the movie
all
theaters.
the seats are great.
Yeah. So thank you,
But
capitalism.
they're, if I remember right, they're all different at Sperry's.
Yeah,
Different types, so.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, but I don't understand the people who go to a movie and just don't get anything. They just sit there and watch a movie in a theater. I don't get those people.
I've done that from time to time, and it's terrible. So at least even if I'm like full, I have to get at least a beverage.
Do you feel like
Maybe it's because the stuff at the theater is fucking expensive.
I know
that
it
too.
is. I know it is, but
I don't
it's
want to
the
spend
best
$15 for a small thing of popcorn and a soda pop.
look.
Speaking of
no
soda
one
pop,
wants to do
Luke,
these
the
things,
real-
Luke, but you do them anyway. Speaking of soda pop, Luke, what?
Speaking of soda pop, Luke, what did you have to drink with that pretzels and beer cheese?
Nothing.
Oh man, that is a
Monster.
sad way to see a film. I'd have gone to it.
I
We should
don't
have done a
drink
dry
pop.
run of this conversation before we recorded it.
Yeah.
This is
If I would have known it was going
disaster.
to be
This is an
full
unmitigated
of.
Well,
disaster.
I
Just
did to
shut
clarify.
the
I
show
did
down.
say our setup is much better than the actual show.
It's true.
Just didn't know that we are going to be met with so much disappointment so early on, Luke. That's all. It's not your fault. I mean,
You could have
most
just
of it
told
is.
us not to bring it up because you were terrible at movie theater concessions.
Well, go watch your own damn movie.
I did at home, and there
Was
was
the popcorn
popcorn.
What did you watch?
What did you
Crane?
see?
Yeah.
Oh, Kong Skull Island, because I'm a year behind the times.
Why would you watch that movie? You did it wrong.
Because it's actually good.
Nope, you did it wrong.
Did you have popcorn with it? Did you? Here's the deal. It's buttery popcorn with salt over it too. Sorry.
There was no butter. It was
and
salted
a cherry
popcorn though.
and a cherry Coke. That's the best.
Well, I don't have any cherry Coke, Tyler.
I'm just
I
saying.
just don't. I don't keep cherry Coke on hand.
Gun to my head.
But I did have some water.
Oh my god! I'm
Gotta
sorry,
get
everyone.
control.
I'm sorry,
Rest control of
everyone.
this.
Well,
If I was at a movie theater, it would have probably been, yeah, it probably would have been cherry Coke.
Yeah.
Maybe a Sprite, depending on how I felt.
I think everyone should tune in next week where we discuss our favorite pizzas.
Why don't we just talk about video games? Because I guess that won't be disappointing at all.
Thin crust, light sauce, pepperoni, bacon, pineapple. Done.
Sold. I'll take that.
Oh man.
Pineapple can be a pizza topping. Change my mind.
It's
Not
one
going
of the
to.
best. It's one
It's
of
a
the
topping.
best. There you go. It's a topping, everyone. Hey, speaking of toppings, at the top of the show, let's talk about video games that we've been playing. Hey, how about that? I'm sorry, that one wasn't very good. Kring, was it good? Was that segue good?
I was
Did you enjoy
hoping
it?
you were gonna go beady bappity. It's topping,
No, we do
Yeah.
the topic at the
Yeah.
end.
and then go
You
into
should-
that.
You should
They can't all
tune
be
into the
winners.
show sometime. Check it out. We have a whole format and everything. It's pretty neat. Hey, what have you been playing, Kring? What have you been up to?
Well, I've been playing a little game. It's brand new, totally brand new. Never before been talked about on this show ever.
Uh-huh.
The Witness.
Yeah.
Why don't
I've
you get a
never heard
preview
of
build
it.
or something.
Yeah, is it who
Jonathan,
did you
Jonathan
have to
Blow call you
email
up and
to
want
get
you
a
to
key
test
for
this
that?
No. So I tried this out, and then I was super excited to tell you guys that I tried this out because I totally forgot that Brian and Kat had played it
Like
back
a year and a half ago.
a year and a half ago because they play every game when it's brand new, and I'm just a lowly, terrible person who waits until it comes to my Xbox for free, and that's when I
Couple of
play
those
them.
things are true.
It's true. That's absolutely true. So yeah, I've been playing The Witness. Played through pretty much the entire game at this point, except for one thing that I'm just never gonna ever do. It's an interesting little puzzle game, walking
Lines.
simulator type deal.
Grids.
Grids.
Drawn
Yep.
lines,
dots.
drawn patterns.
Dots. It's like you do these little mazes, but then these mazes change, and sometimes you have to like. It'll be a grid where there'll be some white and black colored dots, and you got to like keep them separated
I don't
because
think that's the correct nomenclature.
it's the. Anyway, and then
Different hued dots, please. That's what I was getting at.
yeah, differently colored differently toned dots. So then there's some that are like Tetris pieces. You have to make the shape of a Tetris piece. Oh, hey, Kat.
Hey.
Oh, hi,
a
Kat.
wild cat Maxwell has appeared.
I'm just talking about The Witness.
You're
I was
just in
hoping I wasn't
time.
gonna miss this. So,
So I liked it until I did the challenge part at the end and got really, really angry with it, like irrationally angry with it,
Hmm.
and then I stopped
me too.
because the challenge is impossible and I was not able to complete it at all. But I
Well,
did everything
mean,
else in the
it's
game.
not impossible.
Oh.
Some people have done it.
You got further than I did. Oof.
Well, I cheated a little.
Yeah.
Even
with cheating, you couldn't beat the game.
So the way that so you can find the solutions to the puzzles in walkthroughs, and I would do most of the stuff that I could, and then in my own way, like I'm not gonna sit here stuck for hours and hours and hours and try to figure something out. I'm trying to play this game and actually experience it. So I'll do what I can do. If I get like in a super stuck position, I'll look it up. I don't care. I have
Yeah,
no
I
shame
had to
in
do that with that game too.
So, and you end up having to do that a lot, not a lot, but sometimes in this game because it doesn't explain the mechanics of any of these puzzles to you. So you just kind of have to try to learn it on the fly.
Mhm.
And
Some of them have pre-puzzles, like where it kind of teaches you how to do it, but then later on in the game, it's like, yep, how do I do this?
like those Tetris shaped puzzles, I didn't
Mhm.
understand half of them. I had no idea what I was doing with those, and I ended up having to do most of them from
It's so pretty.
walkthroughs. But with the challenge mode at the end, there comes a point where it's first of all it's timed, and it's the way it's timed though is really really cool because it's timed to a song, and I forget the name of the song, but it's a piece of classical music.
The Wall. Pink Floyd's The Wall. If you play it at the same time, then
No, if you sync this to the wall,
Yeah.
then
a
you'll
white
watch
rabbit
The
shows
Wizard of
up.
Oz,
yeah,
and then it's good.
that's what happens.
I'm
That's
the
what
walrus.
Cuckoo, could you?
It's all true. All of it.
So then some of the puzzles are completely random. And
Uh-huh.
all of the puzzles anyway are completely random. So it's not like you can like do a piece of it and memorize a solution and then like build upon that and know what you're doing and get faster and faster, because every single time you go through, all of the puzzles are completely different than they were the time before, and they're in different locations, some of them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's super challenging, and I've gotten very close to beating it, and had several almost finished, very angry moments. Realized I was getting too angry when I was told I was getting too angry at the game, so I've put it down for good.
I'm envious, Crane, because you got a lot further than I did, and I found this game to be amazing and interesting, and then just totally frustrating where I just wanted to throw the computer.
Yeah, I've
there
been
were-
told this game's great at making you feel like a genius and then making you feel like the dumbest person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really half the fun of playing the game. Sometimes you feel smart, and sometimes you feel like a total idiot.
Yep.
That's kind
But
of neat though, that there's like not a way you can't just watch a YouTube tutorial and have them show you the right answers. Like it's going to be different for everybody and kind of jumbled up. That's cool.
That's for that challenge mode.
Oh, okay.
Just that challenge portion at the end. Like 95% of this game is all the same for everyone. It's just that one section where it becomes randomized.
Oh, okay. So do you see, like, did you get to see like an ending first, or?
Yeah, there's an ending. There's an because
You
the
saw that,
challenge
but
thing is
okay.
completely separate, and it's like a you have to find a special area on the island
Okay.
that's kind of hard to get to, but once you get there, then you can take part in this challenge mode.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But no, the game's pretty cool. There is very little in the way of story. You find like these audio recordings, but not a lot of them were like. I don't get this game in terms of like why you're on the island, what you're doing.
There's a
on the
bigger
island.
message.
It's more of like a the story is within yourself, sort of like within your own psyche and your own thoughts, and it's not like a fleshed out physical thing. And then they just have these recordings from these scientists talking about all sorts of different philosophies of the world, and it's just sort of more inner philosophy than anything else. It's strange, but the world itself is pretty, and it's engaging, and the puzzles make you think, so you want to keep going.
It's something I admire from a distance. Like I think I loaded it up and played it for like 5 minutes. I was just like, oh fuck no, this isn't for me at all. But neat.
Right. Huh. Well, that's cool.
So like this puzzle that's being done right now,
That one pissed me off more than any other
You have
puzzle I've
to-
done.
you have to get all of the dots. So all of the little black dots that you see in the gray stripes where you're moving around in, you have to collect all of them. But then at the same time, you also have to
Separate the white.
separate out the black squares from the white squares and keep them separated.
Segregated. Yeah.
Whoa. Saw you dance over that word, change your mind, and then Brian was like, nope.
Sounds like you
Threw a lasso around it, yanked it right back,
you
said,
did pick up on the bigger picture, Kring.
What are they trying to
Yes,
say?
because apparently we're back in the 50s and we have to keep these things separate for some reason. But yeah, so that was a super tricky sort of puzzle thing to learn. Here's a better idea of how you keep them separate. They kind of have these little shorter sections where you can kind of walk through these things a little bit and learn some of them. It's like Kat was saying, but some of them it's just
This is the only little bits of training you will get throughout the
Yep.
game, but half the puzzles don't even have this at the beginning of them.
Yep.
So you're just kind of like, I don't know if you remember the section where there was like vines and there's multiple buildings and there's not just black and white dots, but there's colored dots, and it's like, I don't know what to do with
Yeah.
these. Like,
yeah,
I
and then the
walked
color
away.
palettes keep changing because of the way that it goes, and then there's somewhere like the color palette changed based on the glass that you were looking through, so you had to look through glass to figure
Oh,
out how
yep.
to separate these colored squares, and because the squares would change color, and it gets really, really very complicated.
I love puzzles. I was done. I was like, I have tried this I probably sat and yelled at it for like an hour. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I would
Yep.
usually give a puzzle 3-4 tries, and if I like did not understand what it was trying to do, I'd look at the solution and try to figure out from that one what the rule is for that area, and see if I could solve the rest of them from that. And that worked out pretty well, except for those stupid frickin' Tetris ones. I could not do those ones.
Which ones?
The Tetris ones.
Oh,
Where they had
Oh,
like it's a grid kind of like what you're seeing there, but one of the squares might have a little Tetris piece, and you have to make that shape of that Tetris piece.
mhm.
But then like there will be some where you have to like it'll have multiple Tetris pieces on it, and you'll have to try to make all of these shapes, and it just got incredibly frustrating trying to make them. And then sometimes there's these things where you have to you have the Tetris shapes, but then you also have the color squares in there, so you have to try to separate the colors while making the Tetris shapes, and it's just really, really, really awkward and confusing to do those ones. So I used the walkthrough on most of them. But yeah,
So,
no, it's free on Xbox Live right now. So
Annoy the crap out of yourself.
if you've got I'd recommend trying it out. It's a pretty cool. Like I did most of the first few sections without having to even think about looking at a guide. So it's something that you could probably pick up, and if you like puzzle games, get a few hours of enjoyment out of it before you get absolutely frustrated with it.
What else did you play this week, Crane?
Well, Tyler, what did you play this week? Luke, what did you play this week?
I haven't played some Sea of Thieves this week.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
When this game is good, it's really fucking
Yeah,
good.
it's really good. Yeah.
I agree.
Found out that Tyler is about the best pirate in the world, and Luke is
I don't know
a
about that.
phenomenal sailor.
And you're a sniper.
Yeah,
With a
yeah, I can
cannon.
snipe you with cannonballs. We make a great team, guys.
Yeah, Vito's kind of the wild card. Vito's kind of the everyman. Vito's a little drunk, and he's like, "Hey, let me get on that wheel. Let me steer the ship. It'll be
Can I
fine,
be
guys."
Haley and be your repairman?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. We can always use more people on the crew aboard the SS Questlog. It's my favorite thing right now. It's so good, and I don't know, I just I continue to love being in that world and not knowing what's going to happen when we come up against other people. Like, it's always exciting, you know. Someone spots a ship off in the distance.
No,
And
I know what's going to happen when we come up against other people. We're going to get close enough for Tyler to shoot himself out of a cannon onto their boat, and he's going to kill at least 2 or 3 of them. That's going to happen.
I
Yeah, that's
do
pretty
enjoy
consistent.
doing that.
Can
I
we
do-
cannonball people in the face?
Yes,
Yes.
Spring did
Yeah.
that last night.
Done did that.
It's
Last
very
night.
effective. It turns out that's a real good way to get rid of somebody.
Nice.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's this perfect storm of a bunch of different systems that are independent of one individual player all coming together to make just beautiful chaos on the open seas. It's very fun.
There's a lot of strategy to it, a lot of build up.
Yeah.
You see another ship out there and you're adjusting your sails, you're plotting a course essentially to intercept them and getting ready. You're loading up the cannons, getting cannonballs, and you've got probably about 20 to 30 seconds of combat to where your plan's either going to succeed or just get tossed out the window.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments where you're sizing up your potential opponent, trying to find out, there was one moment, Luke, where we chased down a sloop or another galleon, and you're looking at their sails and going, oh, they don't know what they're doing. They got their sails all different ways. They're not working together. And it was right after that they ran aground, like right in front of us. They smacked right into an island. And we're like, okay, now's our moment to strike. And we,
yeah, you can tell if that team's working together or not, how efficient they're being.
Yeah, and that's the big differentiator between, a good crew and a bad one. That it's not. I like that it's not about how much gear you've acquired or what level anyone is, because none of that stuff matters. It's all just who's more prepared for what's happening right now in the moment, and that's pretty cool.
Which I also love, especially about this game, is because a lot of times you'll get into. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, and the way Call of Duty works when you're doing the online multiplayer is as you increase in levels, you unlock different weapons and things like that. So I would always end up like, especially when I was working previous jobs and have to work a lot during the holidays, it was hard for me to get playtime in. So then when I finally had a chance to get in there, like everybody else has been playing it for 2 weeks, and I get in there and I have the starter weapons and everybody else has all the awesome weapons, and you feel like there's no use in even trying because everybody's got all this great gear and you are behind.
Right.
Whereas this game, everybody is the exact same. It's based on your skill.
It's a level playing field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to see what I would call the end game content, I guess. Right now, there's not a whole lot of variety in the things that you can do, but one of the hardest challenges in the game is these skull forts or strongholds that will periodically spawn on the map, and so it's this big giant cloud appears over this heavily fortified fortress, and everyone on the map can see it. And basically it's just this, it's like a PvE raid. You're trying to fight these waves of extra difficult skeletons that come out. I think there's like 10 or so waves. I think it can be kind of randomized, but it's roughly 10. Different types of skeletons will come out that have like different attributes. Some of them need to be kept out of the water because they'll heal themselves. Some of them you want to kite into the water or like splash them with water to rust their armor so that they're more susceptible to gunfire. Lots of different strategies involved there, but we got together as 4 last night and finally tackled one of those together, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed that. It reminded me of it was kind of the whole WoW dungeon thing again, or a Rift in Diablo, where it's like, okay, everyone's got their job to do. We all get in there and
I miss Rifts.
We've got a strategy and how to take this thing down, but the added threat of other ships can show up at any time because they all see this thing up here and there's a huge hoard of treasure to get, made it extra stressful and exciting.
What's your glowy skull that you're holding?
Treasure.
So yeah,
Treasure.
there's like 3 different types of quote unquote treasure in the game. There's actual treasure chests that you dig up and like golden goblets and things like that. Those all go to the Gold Hoarders faction. Then you have these different skulls that drop from unique skeletons. Those get traded into the Order of Souls and increase your reputation with them and also give you gold. And then there's wildlife to acquire and like supplies and things like that that you can run and sell to different ports for the Merchants Alliance that also increase your gold and reputation with them. The stronghold fort has a combination of all of that. So at the end, if you beat it, there's a captain that drops like a special key, and that key will unlock the door, and this massive horde of stuff will be in there. Huge chest, a really good skull, and then a mix of all the other stuff. So it's more treasure than you could carry out just one crew at a time. There's usually like 10 or 12 different things in there, and they're all worth various amounts of gold. So it turns into this whole thing where like, okay, you took down the raid, but you don't just get to get all those rewards. You have to get them onto your ship and then get them safely to an outpost and carry them out and sell them to the different vendors and stuff.
Yeah,
that actually proved to be just as challenging for us last night,
if
as
not more. Yeah.
just getting it in the first place, because we ended up having this galleon that kept trying to screw, or was it a sloop? Either way, it was a ship. Kept trying to screw with us, and we kept like, Tyler would grab something of great value, and we would just keep coasting on by the boat or coasting on by the island, and he would just jump off while we're moving and then go and sell that, and then hop a mermaid back to the boat and do it again, and then finally we all grabbed something when we only had like 4 left and just ran the ship right aground and all jumped off with our loot to go and sell it to make sure we could get it in safely.
Yeah, that's the kind.
There was just as much strategy getting the loot off the island and back to the vendors as was actually completing the Skull Fort itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
trying to outrun another ship and keep going and just getting someone off on the island to sell it was awesome.
It was stressful. Like we got kind of heated a couple times where it looked like stuff was going to start going south, and because it's like we just worked for 45 minutes on this friggin' fort. We did it. We got it. Like, we earned this friggin' loot. We're going to sell it. We're not going to get sunk. You know, like there was this whole. It became very important that we didn't get to this point for nothing, and you know, everyone was trying to do their best. But it kind of it made me start thinking, because a lot of the feedback I've been seeing like on the subreddit and that sort of thing has been around people wanting the option to just have like a safe haven outpost where you could go, and once you get within radius of it, you can't be killed and your stuff can't be taken from you.
That cheapens it.
I kind of bristle at that, because I feel like then it just turns it into like, well, everyone's gonna just grab the loot and then race to the safe haven, you know?
Mommy, safe zone, you can't get me.
Right, yeah. Oh, yep.
Yeah, millennials are ruining Sea of Thieves.
Wait.
Damn, Luke.
We're millennials.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a cop out too. It's like not what the game is. Like the game isn't okay, beat the boss and now you got your loot. The game is, you got the loot and you're a pirate, you gotta sail it to someone and sell it. Like that's the whole thing. And the game has other pirates in it. Like that's why everyone's here. You know, like if it were, 18th century, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think
the only way I would really want like a safe haven would be if they incorporate some sort of like a tavern that you could do stuff in with other pirates, or like a gambling hall, something like that, like a social hub.
That I'm pretty into. Yeah, make it so there's not merchants there. Make it so that there's not, any of the faction stuff to turn in, but make it be like, okay, this is where people can go to like group up, form truces, whatever. Like that, I kind of dig that.
Gambling hall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like the idea of a gambling hall too, because then you could bet your own gold and win gold, and if you don't want to do any of the quests, you can just chill and earn your gold that way.
I've seen that proposed, and the way that they've said that is it would be like a thing you teleport into, kind of like the mermaid right now, so that you couldn't bring loot into it. You'd have to leave that behind so that people couldn't abuse it. I like that idea quite a bit. Vito said something the first night we were playing that made me think like, well, I was looking through the Reddit, which that was my first mistake, but like
Don't do that.
the whole the whole
To the
like
silly place.
we just need a safe zone, and anyone that disagrees just, you know, they're just neckbeard PvP people who don't want to do anything else. Like, no, it's what I would rather see is more tools to get creative with. Like, and it got me brainstorming about it. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool if you could take your treasure and then bury it somewhere else? Like,
Oh,
you take your shovel, like say we're getting chased by a galleon, right? We just cleared out a stronghold. You could swing me by an island, and I could jump off with a chest, go bury it, right? Dig a hole, drop the chest in it, cover it up. And then, what if that gave you one of the maps, like in the message of a bottle, with an X on it, right? So that you could see where you buried it, what island it was on, and you had that map. But then you made it so that if you had one of those, you died, and that could be looted by other players. So they would see your map, see where to go to get the treasure. That would be kind of cool.
it's not bad.
Because you could then, I mean, you'd still have to stay alive. That would
Are
be
you
part of it.
dying?
Am I dying?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
dying.
Tyler done
We're
got
all
bit by a
dying.
snake.
Oh, I got bit by, yeah, the snakes will spit venom into your face, and then it turns the screen all like purple, and you start taking damage. Yeah, that's what that was. But yeah, I was just thinking like it would be a cool in-universe way to deal with like, well, if we can't make it to an outpost, there should be a way to like hide my
Protect
stuff,
treasure,
you know, like
hide
protect
it.
the treasure, yeah. And it gives just like another thing, and it could be, you could use it as a decoy too, like grab a castaway chest and go bury that if you know that they're going to chase you down and kill you, and then let somebody else take the rest of the stuff and hope that
Right.
they, you know, follow you and just be like,
Yeah,
oh
they get all the
boy,
cheap
you got
treasure.
the one cheap thing, you know. I don't know. I just thought that'd be kind of a neat alternative to like, I need a magic bubble island that I can go to sell all my stuff. I don't know.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing a
Yes, Crank,
t-shirt.
what are you wearing?
It's got the
Crank, what are you
Slug
wearing?
logo on
I
it.
am the ugly. Well, right now it's a hoodie. But I am the ugliest pirate wench that has ever existed because
Yeah.
I am just a big old bearded lady.
Yeah, what about in the game though?
Oh my
There it
god! And
is.
you have a pet. You
Same.
have a wooden leg.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. It's more of a metal leg, I think. But yeah.
It is
pretty
more of a
good.
metal leg. Although I must admit that I love the fact that Tyler has both a peg leg and a hook hand. That's real good.
He's my guy's seen some shit. He's
Is it a blunderbuss?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Nice.
But anyway, that was just my
one thing I
little,
kind of wanted in the
armchair
game was
developing.
grape shot
Wenches.
for the sails. Like if they could incorporate something to where like your first few shots you could load up with just grape shot and shoot at the sails to slow down the enemy.
Oh yeah, yeah. They'd have to like climb the crow's nest and like patch them up.
Yeah, let's a
That'd
little
be
bit
cool.
more
Actually be really
strategy
cool.
with the cannons instead of pose just regular cannonballs.
That's cool. Yeah, man.
I've-
I just want to be on the. I just want to be in the sea. It's
I've,
so good.
I've actually found, Tyler, this game is like, it's like a drug.
I just
You
think
you
like
start off doing some simple things and feeling like, man, this is great. Like right away you start off, oh my god, I can sail, and then I can play this music, and then I can get drunk. This game's the best. And then after a while you're like, oh, I can do all these quests. This game's the best. And then
I
after a
kill
bit you're like,
people.
dude, these strongholds, these are sweet. And then it gets to the point where you can't have fun unless every single ship you see becomes an engagement, and you are just, oh, there's a boat on the horizon. Should we go fuck with them?
Yup.
Yeah.
See,
The answer is yes.
I'm not as
You
much
need
as I am
stronger
a,
hits as time goes on.
as much as
Just
I'm
keep the same
a
high.
cold-blooded killer in the game. I'm not as bloodthirsty, I don't think, as you guys, because I'm just like, oh, we could go, we could go do our voyage. We could just do our voyage. They don't look like they're, meaning us any harm. And you guys are like, we don't have anything on the ship. Let's go get them. Like,
Yeah, if it's low risk, we're gonna go do it.
all right, might as well go say hi. But like when I'm playing alone, it's totally different. I do goofy shit. I came upon somebody just hanging out at a outpost the other day, and they didn't have a mic or anything, so we just got hammered in the tavern and played music together and barfed on each other and had a good old time. It was just innocent little fun, and we both got achievements out of it. And then,
But what
I
did you
think I
guys
would
do
just
in
want
the
to be
game?
on a boat out in the water, because the water is just like the way that they've done the water is just gorgeous.
yeah,
It's the best water that's ever existed in a video game.
Yeah, hands
Ever.
down.
the water tech is insane, because like when you're in the shallows and stuff, it behaves like you would expect. Like you can kind of wade through it, and the waves aren't as bad and stuff. But if you fall off the boat in like the open ocean, the waves are huge, and you get disoriented. You start kind of bobbing
Oh, really?
around, and like the waves will come over you,
Yep.
and you won't be able to see your boat. You can't tell which direction you're going. It gets like real scary, and there's sharks that'll come up and bite you, and
What?
yeah, it's pretty nuts. And all that leads into just like, I don't know, whenever I'm in that world, I'm just fully in it. I'm like, we are pirates. We are doing pirate shit. Let's go.
Anyone get nauseous on the boat? Like,
Yeah.
I've gotten
it's
a
rocking?
little disoriented, and like when you're
I've
swimming.
gotten seasick before, and after playing the game for a few hours and trying to walk, I felt like I was drunk and stumbling.
Yep. When I was one of the first times I played this game, and then I went to bed, and I
Yep.
felt like I
The
was
wings
rocking the
spinning.
waves. It felt like you're trying to sleep on a boat.
Did you have that too at all? No.
No, it didn't bother me.
Now, I was
Even-
also drinking in game and in a storm, so it was exacerbated. It was real bad.
I
And in
played
real
pretty
life.
close. I played pretty close to the screen. Like my monitor's not super far away, and especially when I'm like doing the shipwrecks, you can find these shipwrecks and dive underwater and like search through them.
Was that green area earlier where you were like underneath the
swimming
water
around.
and there was a boat?
Oh,
No,
I
no,
think-
no, that
I
was our
think-
boat sinking.
Yeah, we just sunk
That
our
was your
ship.
boat
Yeah. But it's like that. So you'll go swimming through these big galleon wrecks, and like the boat's on its side or completely upside down, and you're trying to like swim through the different passages to try to find treasure and stuff. And it gets really like get kind of disoriented while you're trying to swim around in there.
Mhm.
And a lot of them are pretty far down, so then your character starts choking, and you start hearing the like, gasps for air, and like this, horrible sound.
Guttural, like
Yeah, and the screen starts flashing when you take damage. It gets kind of intense.
Do you
I
have to
imagine VR would be
gauge
fucked up.
how soon you have to stop before an island too? Because you said someone ran right into an island, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
does that
It's a-
destroy the boat and everything?
Yes.
Yeah. So
It will mess up your boat.
if you're going with any speed at all, and you bump into an island or another ship or whatever, you'll start taking on holes, and you got to take your planks down below deck and hammer those in and fix it up, bail out the water with your bucket. Like the systems that they've integrated aren't super complex, but they all work together really, really well, and it's very believable. Like the other day, I just started scooping water out of the ocean and carrying it back up onto the boat and dumping it in there to see if it would actually like increase the water level, and it does. Like
Oh wow.
you could flood your own boat if you tried hard enough.
Yeah, someone did the math, and it's like 32 buckets of water will sink a ship, which isn't really realistic to do, but it is possible.
Right, it would take
Yeah,
it would
but
take a
then-
long time.
Holy smokes. But then when we're boarding ships, like if we each pull out our bucket and scoop it while you're swimming in the water,
That's
and
not
then
a
you
bad
get on board
idea.
the boat and dump the bucket.
Just do that, like after you've killed them, just dump some extra water on there, help that go a little quicker. Just have a bucket ready. It's not a bad idea, Krang. It's pretty rotten. Well, all right, we got a game plan for later. Stay tuned, everyone. Yeah, here's your weekly Sea of Thieves update for everyone. It's still lots of fun for us. Brian, what have you been playing this week, man? What you been up to?
I'm still playing some Nino Kuni,
Yeah.
getting through that one. Still digging that.
Has the
You know,
I
I'm
know
building up my little kingdom, and
Yeah, I know you mentioned there was kind of like they pulled a little switcheroo on you and had like a whole different gameplay thing going on. Have you found that to be as jarring now that you know it's there, or
I can mostly ignore that. Like some of the optional missions end up where it's like, okay, lead your army onto the battlefield. I'm just like, oh nope, I'm not doing this.
Mhm.
That kind of annoys me because I've been trying to do all the optional missions and side stuff, and some of it I don't know, I might try to burn through them later. I might put some effort into it later, but those aren't fun.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I'm getting my kingdom built up, and the story's had a couple of interesting twists. Yeah, it's a good one of these.
Cool, man. Catch any interesting? Do you catch the little guys, the higgledies? You catch them, or they just kind of show up, or you?
There are like little statues that you find kind of hidden throughout the world, and they give you a riddle, and they want you to give them an item.
Okay.
And if you give them the right item, then one of the little higgledies jumps out and joins you.
I just wanted to hear you say higgledies. It's so good. It's my favorite
Yeah,
word.
it's all right.
What did the Higgledies do?
They're the little Pikmin-looking dudes that follow me around and fight for me.
They're his combat slaves.
They're happy about it, though.
Yeah, they're into it. They love killing.
Yeah, they appear to be. They can't express pain, which is good enough.
Is existence pain? Are they Meeseeks?
Well, I mean, they
They're
can't
not
express
unlike
pain,
Meeseeks,
so they
yeah.
obviously don't feel it, or at least I don't have to care about whether or not they feel it.
Exactly. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, exactly. They can't tell you about it. We don't need to know. That's cool. I'm glad you're digging that. Think you'll is it I don't know how long these games are. I imagine they're quite long. You think this will be a one you finish for sure?
Yeah, I think so. I'm about like 25 hours into it or so.
Okay.
Probably
Really?
be another 100 or so.
You're
I
chewing
mean,
this up, then?
kind of
Isn't
thing.
this only like a week and a half old? This game, or is it
It's a couple weeks old.
a couple weeks? Okay, you're really putting in the hours on this.
I've seen people say they finished it in like 50.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it's another Persona 5.
Gotcha. Got a shiny baby buckler. That's a weird sentence.
That's a-
That's a weird sentence. Nino Kuni 2. That's a weird sentence. I think that should be the tagline. Cool. What else you been into?
I've gotten a couple of freebie games this week. I did the Humble Monthly
Okay.
last month, and among the things that they gave this month was one called Air, AER. What is it? Memories of
Old?
something.
Memories of old. You wrote memories of old on the
Yeah,
video you sent
That
me.
works. That's
I'm sure
believable.
that's what it is.
It's got to be that.
Yeah, like I'd never heard of this one, but when I looked at the preview, it had a real journey feel to it, and that got my attention. If you skip ahead, maybe like 3 or 4 minutes in, there's a lot of flying around, which is real good.
The flying around's real good.
Yeah, the flying around's real good.
Okay.
Is this the one you said that I would like?
Yeah, possibly. Like,
What
it's-
style of game is this? You had to throw it in a genre.
It's a flying around game.
It's a flying around game. Yeah, there's been a lot of exploration, kind of open world exploration. I did find like a shrine full of puzzles to go through, which I didn't love. I just kind of wanted to get back out into the world.
So
so
stay tuned, because in a year and a half, I'm going to talk about this like it's brand new.
When it comes to games
Yeah,
for
no.
gold. Yeah.
Like it's clearly following the like Journey and Abzu path,
Okay.
and it doesn't quite reach those heights for me.
It's
I don't love the graphics. Like it's very pretty, like on a macro level, but like everything's kind of not detailed. Like all the people have no faces.
It's that low poly count kind of like
Yeah.
single color, almost cell shaded look to it. Yeah.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I'm absolutely drawn to this sort of visual style.
Yeah, like I saw a clip, of the flying around like this. I'm just like, yep, give me that now. I want to play that. And
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
it's relaxing. It's fun to fly around, but yeah, like there's a shrine full of puzzles, and they were kind of hit or miss for me. But that's not my jam. Like I don't want to go into a into a building and have switches to hit and platforms raising and dropping and different symbols.
Like
and it
Breath
just,
of the
We can tag
Wild.
team it.
yeah, that's fine. You can do the puzzles, and then I'll.
You can do the stupid flying controls
Oh.
that I can't handle because it makes me just frustrated.
Oh, it's like a match made in heaven.
Abzu, like the controls, I couldn't handle the game because of the
Oh,
controls.
it was so disappointing.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I was like, here, you're gonna love this, and then 15 minutes later, you're like, huh, that was interesting. I know what that means.
Heard that somewhere before.
That's my version of that's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Well, it's
So yeah, this one's worth checking out if you want to relax.
This was part of the Humble monthly thing.
Yeah.
cool. It's in the old Steam as well.
Yep, it's in the old Steam.
My glass
Nice.
is broken.
Good stuff. Well, speaking of things that are in the old Steam, what else you got?
I played one called Kingsway
Yeah.
that was given away as part of the Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime. Like they've started giving away, 4 or 5 games every month. Pretty decent games. This one is a crusty ass old RPG style game, but it's all done up like it looks like you're playing using Windows 95.
What?
Huh.
You've got a desktop with like all the icons.
Wait, that's the game?
That's the game. Because I thought like
Like your character on the desktop. To
Why
open
is
up your
Brian's
character.
computer so shitty and using Windows 98 still? But
yeah, I was like, did Brian just throw a background onto his computer and just like go all retro?
oh, that's the game.
This is like
Yeah.
3.1 style. It's not even 95.
Your quests come in via email, so you open up your email client on the game.
Oh my god.
The status effects are like down in your tray by the clock. Like when you're poisoned, there's an icon down there for being poisoned. You open up your music player on the computer to choose the music.
Winamp.
My husband's the biggest nerd.
It's pretty
I
neat.
love it.
It's a
This is
a
awesome.
novel idea.
It's what?
Yep, you're dragging and dropping things into your inventory.
Progress bar shows up for your travel time and stuff. It's
Oh
real
my
cool.
God.
Yep, and it's got some really neat stuff. Like when you open a chest, like if the chest is trapped, like a little pop-up window will appear and fly across the screen, and like you have to click it, like real fast to dodge the trap.
That's awesome.
They make good use of it.
Did you just get this today?
I got it a couple weeks
I
ago.
haven't seen you play this yet.
The gameplay itself, like the gimmick is really, really neat, but the gameplay itself is pretty dull. Like it's just, it's your very standard boilerplate turn-based RPG. Like it's fine, but
Oregon Trail.
kind of the gimmick is like that's the appeal here. I wish the game underneath the gimmick was better because the gimmick is really neat.
Does
So the
Clippy
gimmick
show
will
up
give
at
you
any point?
an hour or two of
Yeah,
captivating experience, and before you realize, oh, there's not really much underneath of that. That's
yeah, kind of.
Uh-oh. Hello? That's not good.
That was enough.
Hello?
I might revisit it at some point, but
Tyler, you live?
Yeah, everything kind of pooped for a second there.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a little bit of poop.
Yeah, I got a message saying everything disconnected, so I don't know. I think it's probably fine.
It's
Oh,
fine.
looks like the stream's back up. Oh,
I'm sure of it.
no, it's just spinning.
is this like how Tyler always gets disconnected right in the heat of battle?
I think-
Sea of Thieves
I think it's
every
exactly like that,
single
yeah.
time.
I think it's exactly like that. Yeah.
Oh, yep,
well,
we're offline.
Sure says we're offline. All right, let me stop the stream. I'm gonna leave the recording going because hopefully just edit that.
Oh, you should also update our show title in Twitch.
I did do that, but
Oh, there it
No.
goes. Now it updated.
Yeah, now it shows.
all right. Is it
Nope.
streaming
Now it says
yet?
dual slooping. Oh, there it goes. Update again.
Hey, and we're back. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, but
Just,
yeah, minor glitch. Yeah. So Kingsway.
Kingsway. it's fine.
It's also free, so
Yep. If you have Twitch Prime, by all means, give it a look because it's neat. But
it's free with your
Would you-
$100 Amazon Prime
Yeah.
subscription.
Yeah, would
Totally
you
free.
would you play Kingsway 2? They put more
they
game
put-
behind it.
a more compelling RPG underneath this, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
This is functional.
Hear me out.
It's-
It's based on Windows 10, Kingsway 2, and the final boss is, or you have a fight where it's you trying to keep Windows from updating
Yep. You,
and just restarting your
you
computer.
got to save Skype. You
That's-
got to protect Skype
that's
from
real
getting
life.
the update.
Yeah, Crane,
gotta
that sounds
escort
too much
that.
like work. This is the weekend. So don't bring that bullshit in here.
Out of here with that. Yeah, I'm with you there. That's cool. Anything else in your kill feed this week?
Yeah, one more little weird one called Minute.
I've been wanting to play this real bad.
MINIT, Minute.
Yep. Get it? Because you only get a minute to live. That's the gimmick.
Yep. Yep, you.
Oh, seriously?
Yep, you walk out of your house, you pick up a sword, and it turns out the sword is cursed,
Bummer, dude.
causing you to die after 60 seconds.
Worth it though, because you
Respawn
got
back
a cool
in your
sword.
house.
What?
What?
Yep.
So how do you
So-
make progress in this game?
It's a great question.
When you find items, you keep the items. You can find different like home bases to respawn from, but you've got to like figure out where you're going to go and what you're going to do, and then go do it because you respawn after 60 seconds.
So it's
That's
like
real cool.
it's like Majora's Mask, but only 60 seconds instead of 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yep.
I heard.
It's definitely got a like Legend of Zelda feel to the exploration. Like I'm sure that was intentional, but it's
Yep.
it's neat. It's another gimmick.
Interesting concept.
Like I think the gameplay underneath it is a little more compelling
Yeah,
than
I've
the
heard,
last one.
I've heard good things said about it. I read one review where the author said, I'm trying to remember the quote, I'm paraphrasing here, but it was something like it's the truest distillation of Zelda sung with enthusiasm. Like it's that core gameplay loop of like go explore, find items to get into new areas, and just it's constantly that because you're dying every 60 seconds. You've only got so long to get to some kind of progress or checkpoint or whatever, and then boom, you're back and starting over again. It's like two buttons, right? You have whatever's
Yep.
your sword or whatever's equipped in the moment, and then B lets you like auto respawn. Like say you do what you found the item in 25 seconds or whatever, and you know you're not gonna have enough time to do anything else. You just hold down B and then bloop back to your house, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I love the idea of it. The look of it's pretty cool too. It has that kind of like Game Boy,
hmm
original NES kind of look to it, just monochrome.
I think you would like
cool.
this a lot, Tyler.
Yeah.
Just from the little bit I played of it today.
I
Like, if
just
you like
everything I watched.
Like exploring, then
Mm-hmm.
this really scratches that itch really well because there's a lot of little secrets and people to find, and yeah, it's neat so far.
Yep.
Someone needs to do a speed run of this.
This seems like it would be great for speed running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna be find the most optimized path possible. That'd be pretty
Mhm.
cool.
There's a fish laying on the land and it says land is the best.
Yeah,
We
that,
walk
that
by.
dog just beat my ass.
That's cool.
Like I walk up to him and he's like, "What?" So I hit him and then he kills me.
Game over. New round.
Yep, lesson learned.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm way into that. You look like a weird little Tamagotchi duck thing.
Yeah, a little blob dude, little
It's pretty good.
circle with legs.
Big duck mouth sword guy. It's good.
It's definitely got the old Zelda feel where it's just like, oh, there's a tree there. Guess I can't walk past that. I'll go somewhere else.
Till I get an axe or some fire or whatever. Yeah.
Real like video game bullshit. Rocks? Well, never mind.
I'm the hero of legend, but I can't be bothered with stairs. That's not
Yep.
gonna work. Funny. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it was $10. It's on Steam. Not sure if it's on any consoles or not. I know we say it all the time, but it would be a good Switch game.
Well, don't worry, Brian. I'm sure
The
in
Switch hardware could run it.
I'm sure in 2 or 3 years, they'll announce that the definitive edition of Minute, the Gone in 60 Seconds version, will be coming to Switch with all the DLC and new characters to play as.
For $19.99.
They'll have a hard time running it in 60 frames a second, but they'll get there eventually.
Are you
Hollow
referencing
Knight.
Hollow Knight?
I might be referencing Hollow Knight. Luke. Well, that's cool, man. Kat, what have you been playing? What's new with you?
I'm not as exciting. I've been playing the game of life more than anything.
That's a tough game.
But
The board game?
Did you have?
no,
Did you?
the microtransactions suck ass in that game.
Did you start at college, or did you just go right into the workforce and then get?
right into the workforce, Krang.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I've played a little bit more of our Questlog Sims.
Nice.
Oh yeah, how we doing?
We are
Anyone
doing good.
die yet?
I tried
Am I-
yesterday to capture some video, and I got really frustrated with it because OBS was not working for me, and Brian was
Mhm.
at work. So otherwise, I would have some new footage for us. But
Are we all still
Krang
alive?
and Luke got promoted.
Nice. High five, bro.
Tyler and
I'm ready for it.
Brian,
Brian did not get promoted yet. But I mean,
checks out.
yeah.
God
But get
damn.
this, okay. So Luke
Is this
and
real life
Tyler,
or is this fantasy?
you guys are live chat support.
Uh-huh.
So congratulations.
Again, is
Do
this
that one.
real life or is this a video game?
Were you here for the last one, Krang?
I was not.
So you are in pink, sir.
Thank
get,
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kat.
thought
I
you'd like
appreciate that.
But yeah, everyone. Now I've been watching Abby on
Giant Bomb.
Giant Bomb, and watching her do the 13 Deadly Sims is hilarious. Now I'm not killing my people off.
Yeah,
And she has a pretty cool prison setup, but I don't have something that cool.
It's a community center, not a
Yes.
prison.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, they can't leave. It's a prison. But I mean, I'm enjoying this a lot. I literally haven't had enough time to sit and play. I think I got like 20 minutes of playtime yesterday, and that was it.
Kat, is someone doing yoga back there? Is that what I just saw?
Mhm.
Someone was doing yoga.
Cat has a yoga mat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. This is, I think, one of the original videos that I took.
Luke's taking a
So,
dump right now.
Kring and Vito are business, and Tyler and Luke are tech gurus. Brian's an author, and Kat cooks for everybody.
Oh, he's washing his hands. This is not like real life. Luke doesn't do that.
Sims automatically do that unless they're slobs, I believe. So,
Is there a way to turn up the slobbiness for people?
you can choose like the slob
You can give them traits.
trait. Yeah,
Who's the slob in the house?
I don't think anyone's a slob.
I
You were
kind of
too-
like how the
you were too
bedrooms are
kind
like
with this, Kat.
Foxconn dorms.
Yep. Those are prefab rooms, so I just kind of like plucked them in the house because I just didn't take the time to build anything. And all the walls are pretty much like, other than the prefab rooms, everything kind of is like metal prison like. And I just literally fixed the house up today or yesterday, so the house
They
looks
are-
nice.
Luke, they are not Foxconn dorms because there is no safety net outside the window to make sure I can't jump.
Well, we're
Yeah,
on
I
It's a
know.
one-story
Luke
house.
loves the outdoors.
That's accurate.
I think we're all geeks because
He's
that's
out there
one of the
running
traits
right
you can
now.
choose. So we're all geeks. So we all talk video games, and we all get angry when we don't play video games for a while.
That part is accurate.
I think Tyler and I enjoy food. We're foodies.
This is very true. This is all very, very true to life.
I'm not sure all the other traits, but each sim can have
No,
like free
Craig's
traits.
taking a dump.
So it's kind of hard to choose which ones I like for each one. I think Kring, I think I made you like a goofball or something where you like just sit there and make goofy jokes and, you know.
Checks out.
Yep.
He's trying.
Call back.
Okay, so Art does not need to imitate life to the point where Brian got the bubble where he wanted to have a baby with Kat. I was like, nope, nope, nope.
You're ruining it.
That's just what the house needs. A little firstborn run around.
Yeah, no. So
She
I'm
can like
having a
video
lot of
games
fun with
too,
it. I just
and-
want to be able to sit and play for like 6 hours straight and.
Brian
be
and
able to
Tyler are
get
having
thrilled
lunch
out.
together. This is so cool.
What?
I was just watching Brian and me have lunch together at the community thing there. Oh yeah, and Vito's there too.
Yep.
Oh Luke, everyone's got their food.
Running joke is so Kring, you weren't here for this, but I brought up everyone's pictures off Facebook and I was trying really hard to make the sim look like the person, but it is so hard. Absolutely so hard. By the time I got to Vito, I had probably spent, I don't know, a couple hours making characters and I was exhausted. So Vito actually looks a lot like Mike. It's just he looks more like Mike than he does Vito.
Mhm.
It's funny, but it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the Sims 4, where I think we might get an animal in the area.
Yes,
soon.
let's get a dog.
Yeah, let's get a
Let's
dog.
get a
in
puppy.
there.
Let's
Mhm.
buy a
Let's get a
zoo.
Snake?
You know what? Let's get or a snake. Come on, cat. Let's get a
You
snake.
can have a cat
Could bring
or
back
a dog.
Snake Chat.
Or
Oh,
I mean,
that's just-
Luke right now has fish. Luke likes to go fishing. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a thing you do, Luke?
Nope.
Because Luke likes the outdoors. That's one like Luke likes
Just
the
killed my
outdoors.
immersion.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that
So he
part.
gets angry if he's not outdoors for a while, and so I just sent
Yeah.
him fishing one day, and so we cooked homemade fish.
Okay.
Well done, Luke.
That sounds like if Luke was to fish, Luke would cook his fish in his cast iron skillet,
Yes,
Mhm.
that part's 100% accurate.
and he would do
Yes.
it. He would preferably do it outside on an open flame.
Little
Yes.
little olive oil down. You put it skin side down. Get a nice sear going. Seasoning on top.
This is why you're a foodie.
Did you say
Next
skin
time,
side down?
Quest log
Yeah,
gets
skin side
camping.
down. That's how you cook a fish.
Don't all the sides have skin?
On a fish? On a cut of
Does-
fish?
does-
No.
You don't cook the fish whole. You take a fillet.
Yeah, you gotta cut your fish.
A fillet.
If anybody has any requests for a Sims family to make, I'll do it. And I mean, I'll kill people if I have to.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Watching-
Dedication.
Not,
Yeah,
not
real
our
dark.
family. No. Our family is gonna be good. No.
So wait, you can like kill off members of our family if we want to bring in specific people and be like, I'm ready to trade out Luke for let's see.
I would have to get
Jason
Abby's
Statham.
mod to get like a bunch of more people. She's got like 13 people in a house, and that's like crazy.
Hmm.
I couldn't handle that. I'd be pausing constantly because she lets the game just play, and she's just moving person to person. I'm
yeah,
like
that's not
OCD.
okay. You gotta watch them.
Yeah, I have to pause and like nobody does anything unless I tell them to do it. Like, nope, sorry, you have to go to this
Oh.
bathroom. You have to go to that bathroom.
That's
like
hilarious. I
micromanaging
would just
too.
let them. I would just let them go. I'd be
Mm,
watching
nope.
them live their lives. I'm having fun doing that right now. Look at
Mhm.
Kring thinking
You
he's
have to
safe
poop.
sleeping
Put down
over
that
there.
cheese sandwich and
And
go
poop.
poop.
Yeah, it checks out. Everybody else is up and playing video games and doing stuff, and I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
That's so true to
this
life.
is very
I was
scary.
watching Abby trying to electrocute a sim. Now, in my days
What?
of Sims 3, I played a ton of Sims 3, and twice in my whole Sims career has anyone ever got electrocuted. That was it. Like, to the point where they died. Like, it was entertaining watching her
She-
try and, like, kill somebody by electrocution.
She draws a name out of a hat, and then she draws a method of death out of a different hat.
Yep.
This is awesome.
It's hilarious.
Who's
You're
this
going to die by
Broseph
electrocution
Gordon
this
Levitt
week.
coming into our house like he owns the place? Sorry.
Oh, God, I hate, like, neighbors come over, and I was just like, no, you're kind of a twat. Go away.
Luke's got a purple shirt lady over here
Yep.
in a
Oh,
pretty invested conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jim Bro's yelling at Kat. I don't like that. Brian's just laughing about it. Kat, you should
You let him
just
in the house.
can you
You
just
clean it up.
Can you just stream this and let us all tune in and watch it? And just let it go one day. Like that would be.
Sure.
I want to see that happen.
Pretty good.
Pick a day and we can do that. Like, we'll have it'd be a lot of fun, actually.
Luke got Purple Shirt Girl to come have food with us.
Yep.
See, I'm already way invested in this.
You should see the house now. I redid, like, we have nice wood flooring. We have another computer because everybody fights over the computer. Everybody wants a computer.
Well,
Oh.
we should. How many people are in the house, Kat?
6?
How many computers should we have, Kat?
6.
Yes.
Wrong answer.
See?
7 because Tyler's
Everybody
gonna
needs
die.
to make enough money for me to have 6
We
computers.
need
Crane.
7 because Tyler's is gonna take a dump
Yeah.
and blue screen on it.
Any
Oh
second.
shit! Tyler's talking to the Purple Shirt Girl,
Oh my God,
and
I
Luke's in
forgot.
bed on his tablet. This just got real.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, Luke. It wasn't. I didn't want this to happen. It wasn't supposed
Yep.
to
It
be
was
this
meant to
way.
be.
I'm sorry. Okay. Wow.
The
That
biggest
was
thing, I
way
didn't
more
pay
entertaining
attention
than I
to
thought it would be.
anybody's clothes either. I just picked like the everyday outfit, so people might have really weird outfits for like bedtime and stuff.
Oh boy. Yeah, mine's pretty accurate. It's got a shirt with a skull on it and some jeans.
Mhm.
It's not far from what I do every day.
I tried.
See Brian
It gets
showering
cute.
over there. That's pretty good. I could watch this all day. I could seriously watch this all day.
Yeah, I love. And you know what? I'm not a podcast watcher half the time because once people are talking, I kind of shut down because that's. Someone told me I might even have ADD because I like. Once 5 minutes in a lecture, I'm done. Like I'm off thinking about, unicorns and whatever,
Yeah.
and.
Unicorns are
I
important.
can't put down Abby's show. I'm like, I want to keep watching. I want to keep watching. I want to keep watching. Let's go.
Yeah.
And now I want to play. And I'm like, hey, Brian, how could I set it up to where like we're all together and you guys are watching me play? That would be a lot of fun.
Stream
I
that
think
shit.
it'd be awesome.
Yep. That'd be cool. I'd be way into that.
Do that.
All right. Well, let's see. What you play anything else this week, Kat?
Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I finally
What do you-
picked it up.
What do you do in Viva Pinata? Hit a pinata, probably.
Finally picked it up as in like you've never played it before.
I've played it a little bit, but for me, like I would rather manage The Sims. Managing a pinata, like the whole garden, there's too much going on that I can't micromanage. Oh, see,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're fucking, yeah,
What?
Oh,
yep.
I
Yeah.
found a video with a lot of annotations
Yeah,
and,
they-
and
They
stuff
make
over it.
babies.
They bang.
They
Yeah.
bang.
Find a different one.
They each have a love dance when you're mating them, and you have to not make them explode.
Whoa.
Whoa! I thought that was kind of the goal.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
Oh boy.
This is one of my favorite games. I loved Viva Pinata.
He played the heck out of it. Excuse me.
Yeah, when it was new, like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, it came out.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah,
whack
and we
that
got
hard
it on the
soil.
rare replay. And you start off with this little garden, and you gotta kind of like fix it up. And depending on what conditions you have within the garden, you attract specific animals. And they all have cute names. Like, what was the bumblebee? Like a buzzle. I can't
They all have,
remember.
like, sweet candy names.
Candy names because they're pinatas.
Hmm.
And there's nice pinatas, there's mean pinatas, and you have multiple characters you meet throughout the game. Someone that has a general store, someone that helps you build things. It's a pretty cute little game. It's kind of, I don't know, what would you call this kind of game?
It's like a cutesy sim kind of game.
Yeah.
It can be pretty challenging, if you're trying to get specific ones to live in your garden and
You have to have
Not kill each
specific
other.
flowers, specific grass, or whatever. I think the bunny combs are my favorite. They're cute
bunny combs. Yeah.
bunny combs.
That's cool. I don't know why. I never looked into Viva Pinata at all, but I had it in my head that it was like a party game or something. So that's surprising to me that it's like this garden
No,
sim thing.
it's got a real like little kid aesthetic,
Hmm.
but there's a pretty decent game underneath that.
Like, yeah, our kids got frustrated. Like, Levi tried to play it, and he got so mad. There's a lot of reading within it. I don't even think I've met half the characters, and there's a ton of characters to play with, or not play with, but visit throughout the game, as well as meeting lots of different animals. And if you want this one, you have to meet this condition for it to show up, and then you have to meet, these other
Right.
conditions for it to become a member of your garden, and then to have it breed, you have to meet more conditions. And you might need a specific animal, like in order to get a fox, you have to have bunnies, because the foxes want to eat the bunnies, and it's a little overwhelming right now. I think I'd rather play The Sims.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And they're using Comic Sans font on everything like it's not a big deal. That isn't okay.
Oh, those snakes are assholes.
Tyler, this was like 2007, so it really wasn't a big deal back then.
It's always been a big deal. Comic Sans has never been okay.
Tyler's
Sorry. Yeah, it looks cool. I like watching pinatas fuck.
show title.
When pinatas
I don't think
get
we
dirty.
can. I don't think we can do that. But
Pinata's gone wild.
Ah,
There it
beauty.
is.
Rob says there was a party game for Viva Pinata, like a spin-off.
Viva Pinata Party
okay,
Animals.
that's probably where I
is the
got that
party-
idea. Then thanks,
I
Rob.
didn't imagine it.
There it is.
I didn't just okay. That's good. Good to know. That's your pinata themed history moment of the day.
And now you
Good
know.
stuff. And now you know. Good stuff. Hey Luke, what you been playing, man?
Well, when I'm not in the open seas, I've been back in Montana playing some more
Back
Far
in-
Cry 5.
Don't want to go to Bozeman.
No,
So-
you don't.
No, the Bozeman is a beautiful area.
It's a callback.
People will steal your stuff. Come on.
Yeah, something bad happened in Bozeman at one time. Yeah,
Don't really have a whole lot more to report on it. I just finished up one of the 3 main areas. It's been a hell of a good time. It's a beautiful game. Story is, everyone complains about the story, but I don't understand the criticism behind it. It's not meant to be a 100% story-driven game, but there is story there. It's well enough for a Far Cry game. But yeah, it's been good.
it's good stuff. You get to try any of the multiplayer or anything like that yet? The arcade
No,
stuff?
haven't done anything with that arcade or anything like that. Might pick that up after the actual storyline itself.
Right.
But I've got probably about 13 to 15 hours into it right now, so I'll probably get around 40 out of it total.
Cool. Stuff,
How
man.
does it stack up to compared to other Far Cry's? Because didn't you love 3 like a lot?
Yes, 3 was amazing. This one's better than them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's better than 3 and 4.
Oh, that's high praise.
It's really, really good. My only real big complaint is the gun selection. Just very, very minimal this time around.
I've heard that from a couple
like-
people.
Yeah, like the pistol I have is your starter pistol. I'll probably end the game with that pistol.
Huh.
Just like there's just no other interesting upgrades.
You wouldn't think that a game set in Montana would have a limited gun selection.
That's kind of
Yeah.
the whole thing, isn't it? Like these people are like hoarding weapons and starting a militia.
Whoa,
and
whoa.
Yeah.
These people.
These people.
Yeah, the selection is just very, very limited. Like
Right.
I've already
These
pretty much unlocked a
deplorables.
large machine gun. You get a rocket launcher and a flamethrower really early. Those used to be like end game weapons. But
Freaking
hey,
entitled new
rest of it's fun.
generation. Just give them all the guns and all the weapons right off the start. Don't got to work for anything. No sense of pride and accomplishment because everyone hates EA. So this is what you get. Just right off the bat, get a flamethrower. Why not? Have a bear named Cheeseburger. Who cares?
yeah, I did get the cougar named Peaches.
That's a good
pretty
name
good.
for a cougar. I
Yeah.
bet you
That is
there's
a
a
good
couple
name for a
real life
cougar.
cougars named Peaches around somewhere.
Yeah, I just read an
didn't
article today that
work.
said Far Cry 5 has sold twice as many copies as Far Cry 4 in the first week.
That's
Really?
surprising.
So
Headshot.
it's
I
selling really well.
I should finish Far Cry 4 someday. But
Nah,
Finish Far Cry
you
3.
need to.
I played the living dog shit out of Far Cry 3. I think I beat that game 3 times.
Seriously?
I love that game. Yeah.
I've started that game probably 3 times.
Just didn't do it for you, huh?
I don't know. I would always start it and be like, "This game is awesome," and then something else would come along. I would always start it at the most inopportune time. You know, like you get antsy waiting for a game that's like supposed that you've been like super hyped for, and you've got like nothing that you're playing because you've cleared everything out waiting for this game, and then it's like you got this week where you try to fill it with something, and then I always pick up Far Cry 3 at that time, and then. I think one of the times was like the week GTA 5 came onto PC. And I
That's a
picked
real
up
bad
Far
time.
Cry 3 and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is really great. I'm going to play the crap out of this." And then GTA comes out like 4 days later and I'm like, "No, I'm going to play GTA now."
Yeah. Far Cry 3 is real good. Again, story's not phenomenal or anything, but the running around's real good. The way you can like mantle up on stuff, and that's clearly present here too. But like it was one of the first person shooters where I felt like I was like, I want all first person games to control like Far Cry now, because I just felt like I was so in control of the environment and the way I was moving through it and that sort of thing. Like you can climb up rocks and ledges and pull yourself up onto stuff. You could like grab onto ladders and stuff midair. You had a wingsuit, so you could kind of like, you know, get to a high place and then glide down to where you needed to be. It just felt like it was a very, I don't know, it was liberating. It felt like you were in more control than normal, than just like walking around, jumping, the basic, you know, interactions that you normally have with first person shooters. So
You liberate a camp and you toast with beer.
yeah,
America.
because America, yeah. There's not a lot to do in Montana. I mean, you gotta stay.
Don't listen to him. There's a ton to do in Montana.
There's guns and poppy fields, and that's
Bears.
it. Bears, beats,
Beast.
Battlestar
Battlestar
Galactica. There it is. There it is. But yeah, I love the way that you move around in Far Cry. One of the
Yeah, it's got a good
criticisms-
feel to it.
the
Very
ones I-
smooth movement.
one
I
of the
love
things
like
I've
running and then
heard-
doing a slide on the ground.
That's the other thing I was trying to say. Yeah.
A what?
Once you start sprinting, you can press the crouch button to do like a
A slide.
little
Like
butt
Forbidden
slide.
Horizon.
yeah, yep, just like in that.
And then you end up sliding just because for no reason when you're entering rooms and stuff.
Oh, I slide through doors all the time. It's very satisfying.
Because don't you kick
Yeah.
the door too? Like you kick the door open when you do that.
Yep.
It's real good. Yeah.
So what keeps you
was-
just from like grenading a whole camp?
You get bonuses if you are undetected and don't raise any alarms. You get more monies.
Are there flamethrowers in the game?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Early on in the game, even.
Yep.
Yep. And shovel wielding, not quite Nazi zombie guys.
And how does that guy keep getting up?
He's all drugged out on
That's a personal
bliss.
He's high on bliss.
Yeah.
Bliss. He's blissed out on bliss.
Yeah, this area, everyone's on drugs.
Montana?
Zing. That's pretty good.
Ladies and
Now
gentlemen,
who's stereotyping Brian?
Controversial. Okay.
That's pretty good. Well, I think that finishes up what we've been playing for the week. I was just Sea of Thieves for me this week, so that's all I got. But
We keep talking about it again.
no, I don't think we should.
Remember that time when we sank that boat and took all
Let's
their
get
treasure?
into the news. That was pretty good though, Luke. We did take a bunch of treasure off that boat twice. That was good. Hey, it's the news, and I got some kind of cool news to talk about here. I think it's kind of cool. That game Shadow of War, remember when I was kind of like, oh, it's a great game, and then I was like, oh, it's not so great. Oh, you can't hear me all of a sudden? That's fun.
Oh.
Never
It's
use
been
them.
too long.
It's been too long. Thanks, Skype.
Now I can hear
Sometimes the old Skype ain't the good Skype.
It's the second best
You were-
version of Skype
you were,
ever.
you were singing the
playing
praises of
the-
the old Skype earlier.
you. I think playing the music bumper
Yep.
competes with your voice.
It does. Yep, that's true. I
Good
think.
old Skype.
Good old Skype. Well,
Missed ya.
good news is the bumper's done now, so now you can hear me. And
Hey.
the other good news is, hey, we got a topic. Nope, we got some news. Remember Shadow of War, everyone? That Middle Earth game that should have been really good and was up until the ending? Because microtransactions? Hey, they're getting rid of them now, and it's only like 6 months late.
Yeah, it's easy to be real cynical about this.
Yeah, that was my reaction to it.
They're like, people are done spending money on it, and I guess we might as well try to squeeze a little goodwill out of it and be like, hey, you know what? This was bad for the game. We're
Yeah.
gonna fix that for you.
Yeah, it's weird. Like all those reviews that said exactly that. That hey, because these are here, it kind of compromises your whole vision for the game. They came out and said like, we realize that having these even in the game compromises the vision of what we intended, and we're like, you don't say.
Yep. We realized that. I'm sure a couple of years ago they realized that, but
Yeah, I don't know how much of this is like they're gutting all microtransactions. It's not just
Yep.
like so. For anyone who didn't play it, you could buy in-game currency, and you could use it to buy like these war chests that would have different orcs followers in them. So you could buy those almost like kind of directly. You could also buy loot chests that had like armor and weapons in them. And all that stuff is gone. They're not the loot chests will still be in the game, but you'll earn them like while you're playing it. It won't be something you can buy with any kind of currency. And yeah, all the orc captains you'll have to interact with in the world, like I did. Along with that, they're saying that they are redoing the whole Shadow Wars phase of the game, which is the end game. Like you see kind of like a faux ending, and then it opens up this new mode where you're basically going back and trying to defend all of your fortresses that you've acquired. And that part of the game burned a lot of people out because that was where the difficulty ramped up super high, and you felt like, well, I gotta have better captains, so there's this store here where I could just buy some, or I could grind for another, 15 hours or so to get my captains ready for this.
Boy, it's almost like they actively put that in there to make money.
Well, that's what it almost feels like. I'm wondering how much of this is like the parent company saying like, sorry, this has got to be in there. And they're going like, okay, so we're doing this, we're putting this in there. Can we take it out now every month? Like, I'm wondering if that, is it time now? Now can we get rid of it? Like,
It was mandated by contract for 6 months.
I don't know. It
I'm
kind
sure
of sounds that way.
I'm sure the purchases have slowed down enough where they're like, okay, yes, you can take it out.
I would love to find out, like, they've got to have data on who's making those purchases and stuff. Like, I'd love to talk to the guy who still spends who spent $100 in Shadow of War last week. Like, I just want to see what his life is like. If that guy exists, that'd be interesting to me.
It's the guy from South Park,
Right.
the Warcraft episode.
Yeah, I mean, like Brian, we talked about this a little bit. The early reviews all called this out as like problematic, and I tried to side with the developers and be like, well, it's not really necessary and it doesn't really feel that bad because you don't have to engage with it, until I got to the end. And that was where I was seeing more reviews say, yeah, it's not a problem so much until you get to the end game where it feels like all of a sudden you just have this bad feeling like you were building up in power, and then all of a sudden the rug got pulled out from under you, and then you're left there staring at an ad screen to buy more orcs. So, yeah, in the end, it looks like this was definitely more detrimental to them than it was worth. Probably.
I remember saying that this would be a game that I would pick up if they down the line when it was on a Steam sale, and just get to that end game part and then not play it. But the fact that they had it in there, and then now they're like, we realize that this, even just having it in here, took away from the vision, and doing it some sort of like, we get it, guys.
Yeah,
This
it was a
was
real
bad.
bullshitty
We're one
way.
of you now, and we understand. Makes me not want to play it ever at all.
It's a bummer because it's not a bad game, and they've said that they've reworked that end game stuff. Like, that's appealing to me. I guess it starts over if you were in the middle of it. If you beat it already, then nothing changes for you. But like they said that they actually added new story elements to it and like fleshed it out more and everything. It's kind of
Not just that,
appealing
but
to me.
they changed the difficulty curve on it too, so that it's not this grind anymore.
Right. That is kind of appealing to me. I don't know. If I can find the time to pry myself away from the helm of our boat, then I might check that out. I just to see what it looks like, to see what that game looks like without all that crap cluttering it up. So, what about you, Luke? Is that something you think you'll go back and finish
Yeah.
up, or no?
No, because I didn't even get to the very end game. I only got like halfway through it, and it was just more of the same. So if I couldn't even get through that to get to the end game, then nah.
It's funny how that tops out, because like at first you and I both said, yeah, it's more of the same, and that's a good thing because it's just more of what we already liked. But it's like, well, you want a
Yeah,
little bit
I was wrong.
different.
I'll
You want
fully
a-
admit.
you-
I actually wanted more than that.
Yeah, we wound up wanting more of that.
Well, they gave you more than that, Luke. They gave you the sense of pride and accomplishment of spending your money on orcs.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah, I've found that there are some games where like I'll play a sequel and I did not want more of the same. Like when I played Fallout 4, I'm just like, oh, this is Fallout 3. I already played it. I've got no interest at all.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, Tyler. I love you, but Skyrim was kind of the same. I'm just like, oh, this feels like I'm playing Oblivion again. I
Skyrim
feel
is
like
the
I've already
best.
been here and done this.
Skyrim is the best.
I don't know
I'm sure it
how to
is.
respond to
You can tell him
that.
to fuck off, Tyler. It's okay.
I love Brian
right.
Maxwell with most of my heart. That I don't know how to process that information right now, but
You can tell him to fuck
I
off. I do all the
respect
time.
you.
It's okay.
I respect you, Brian. Respect you so hard. I'm just gonna. Yep, I agree. Sometimes you think you just want more of the same, and Skyrim's not more of the same because Vikings. But I think I get what you're saying.
That's your particular fetish. I get that.
It is. It really is. They just like same thing happened with God of
Tyler
War.
likes them bearded pirates.
See, pirates weren't my thing at all. And then somebody was like, I read on the subreddit, they were like, Vikings were kind of pirates too. And I was like, fuck, you're right. I like pirates now. So, yeah.
Incoming Viking skin for Sea of Thieves.
Oh shit, you'll never see me again if that happens. Oh man. Well, hey, let's talk about a weird thing that I didn't think I was going to be talking about. Deckard Cain is going
Oh
to
my
be
the
the
God.
next
fuck is a
hero
Deckard Cain?
in Heroes
Oh
of the
Oh
Storm.
my God.
Stay a
I need
while
a metal
and listen.
piece.
Deckard Cain is an old man what helps you out through the Diablo games, Kring. He's got a very iconic voice, and he is known for not fighting or doing much of anything other than like looking at books and armor for you and telling you where to go.
So, what you're telling me is they're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel?
No, this has been one of the
Fans
most
have wanted
requested.
this for a long time.
Yeah, he's been one of the most
only
requested.
character besides Diablo that's in all the Diablo games.
But this doesn't make any sense. The dude doesn't fight or do anything but read books and talk to you. So how
He
is
helped
this?
with the Fallen Star. Like, give him a little credit.
He's got some scrolls, he's got healing potions, he's going to be a support. I can't imagine that he's going to be able to hit anyone very hard with his little staff there. He's just an old man. But yeah, he looks cool. He's one of the cool things about Heroes is that, like, especially for games like Diablo where they're not super high res, or even World of Warcraft where, like the models are kind of low poly and not super detailed. In Heroes of the Storm, they look super cool. Like everybody gets this up-res model. So Deckard looks cooler than he's ever looked before. And he's got some cool shit. He's he's an old wizard, man. And one of his
I'm
ults
surprised
is
they announced this just now. Like, this seems like something they would announce at BlizzCon, and the
He's a
crowd would go fucking crazy
perfect
for it.
BlizzCon
I asked
hero,
Brian,
yeah.
like, is that an April Fool's joke? Because, like, that seems odd that they would release him, but it was April 5th.
It's been a joke for a while that like they should put Deckard in in Heroes. He's got the best ults in the game, in my opinion. Oh, we lost Krang.
He rage quit.
I think
Just
he just
like-
went to bed.
I'm done with this. Done with this shit. Talking about Diablo and Heroes, I'm just done.
Yeah, the Lornado is real stupid.
It's the
Oh.
right
Is that
kind of
actually what it's called?
stupid.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
super dumb.
What?
Just a book tornado, because I don't know books.
Lornado.
So awesome. I love it. It's so cool.
Oh my god.
His other one is
Is that really what it's called?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's a Lornado. Yes. It's so good. And his other one
What's
is
his other alt?
I'm trying to tell you.
Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, it's stay a while and listen, and it puts a big old
Wait,
cone out in
that's
front
his
of
other.
everybody.
That's his other alt.
Yep, it puts the enemies to sleep.
Yep.
Yep, he drops healing potions on the ground for the team to pick up.
Oh, I need a metal headpiece.
It seems pretty good. Hey, Kring's back. Is he back?
He should be back.
Don't look back to me.
I'm sure he's back.
Lornado and stay a while and listen.
It's pretty good. Kring, you
And
there?
this isn't an April Fool's joke.
Nope,
No.
very real.
Boy, this show's going off without a hitch. Kring, hello, Kring. Do we have a Kring?
Almost.
All right. Well, so that's your heroes moment for the week. Hey, Luke.
Hey,
Summer Dames. Summer Dames Done Quick is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't Google that, kids. Summer Games Done
That's
Quick,
not
however.
the lineup you want.
Summer Games
both
Just
all
in
about
time.
speed though.
What did you say?
He said it's still all about speed, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
There you go. Hey, there's a lineup. So what do you think of it, Luke?
Overall, I like it.
Yeah.
Basically,
this?
has checked a lot of boxes that I look for in a GDQ, so should be pretty good. We've got
Cuphead.
Cuphead that's gonna be real good. That's what I'm looking for.
You get your Super
Mhm.
Metroid?
Yep, there's a Super Metroid 100% room exploration.
Oh.
It's not a race, I don't believe, but hey, we still got a Super Metroid, better than AGDQ.
Mm.
So that's in there. You got the typical Mega Man block, big Mario block. So that'll be
Divinity
good.
Original Sin 2
Yes.
speed run. That's interesting.
Was it like a 50-minute run or something? I'm gonna have to skip that or beat the game before July. I'm not sure what's
You
gonna
can
come
do it in
soon.
less than an hour.
Got
so.
some time. Yeah. Well, I don't know what's taking
Yeah.
you so long.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay, I got 40 hours into the game, and this guy's gonna do it in 50 minutes.
I hope with that one, it's not some crazy glitch. It's
Glitch.
like an in-game thing that like they just can exploit. Like, oh, it turns out if you use the teleportation gloves and this thing, you can skip all of this stuff in like a in-lore way. That'd be cool.
Looks like they're gonna do 2 runs: a any percent with the previous version, and then an any percent on the newest patch. So,
Huh.
at the very least, the old patch version is gonna be glitched to hell and
Right.
back.
No. Shut it down. They're doing I Am Bread.
They did one last time.
Did they?
Yeah, they did one at GDQ.
Well, then maybe I'll just go on YouTube and look at that video because an I Am Bread speedrun
I
sounds
have been known to
absolutely
be bread.
fantastic.
I'm sure it was full of bread puns. I blocked it on my memory.
You need to not do that, Luke.
There it is.
Ah, there it is. Need.
Yep.
So good.
Always rises to the top of the conversation.
Oh, there it is.
We're not just scratching at the crust here, Luke. We're getting into the real.
Super Mario Maker, relay race. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's all sorts of Mario. But then they said I read the thing that said that Mario Odyssey's not going to be on this.
Mario Odyssey is a bonus game.
Oh, so it's a donation incentive.
Yes, it'll be an incentive to me,
Hmm.
which
I'm sure that'll get
100%
hit.
guarantee it will be hit.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of controversy as to, oh, you don't put it on the official list, but you're going to make it a bonus game just to raise more money. Well, it's
That's the whole
for
point of the
fucking
thing.
charity, so yes, they're
Yeah.
going to do that.
It's for fucking charity, people. Come on.
Come on. By the way, Doctors Without Borders for the summer one.
There you go.
Good charity. Donate.
Donate, get your Mario, get your bread.
Get your shirt. I got my GDQ shirt on.
What does it say?
Game's done quick.
Oh, that's accurate.
They're going to do
Come
on,
Sonic
Tyler.
2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm set.
Sonic
Yes.
3 and Knuckles was real cool.
Give it to me.
Give it to us, precious. And there's your news. There's your news. And hey, you know what that means? It means it's time for this. It's a topic. It is a topic. It's a topic, and the topic is: do you feel compelled to complete a game for its own sake if you're no longer into it? Luke, how about that Shadow of War?
Nope. No, I have not finished more games than I've actually finished, probably.
Got a lot of unfinished business in your Steam library.
Yeah.
I do too. I do feel compelled to do it though. Like I feel like I'm leaving shit on the table. Like
Yeah, I feel like I should. I just don't.
especially like $60 games like Shadow of War. You know, like I bought that brand new, and I don't know how it ends. Like that does eat away at the back of my brain a little bit. You know, depends. I guess it depends on how into other stuff I'm at the moment. Like if I'm really into something else and I'm having fun, I can put that shit away. But it's like it's in those moments like between huge releases when I'm not like super into anything. I'm like, man, I don't know, what should I play? I feel like playing something. That's when my Steam library starts looking at me funny, like, you know what you should play? You shouldn't buy anything. You should play the stuff that you already bought, dude. Like that's look at all of us
what's
in
really
here.
crazy is how, like, a game that I love, I'll just, not touch for a few days, and then all of a sudden that few days becomes several months, like Divinity Original Sin 2.
Uh-huh.
And that was pretty much my game of the year last year, but have I finished it? No, I have a whole other chapter to go.
I'm the same way right now with like Stick of Truth, or not Stick of Truth. Fractured But Whole is a game that I greatly
Say it
enjoyed,
right.
but I set it down for a while, and now a couple of weeks turned into, oh hey, Mario Odyssey's out, so that's a couple more weeks turned into now months
God, I should
that I
really
haven't
finish
touched
Mario Odyssey.
it.
There it is. See? What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I'm okay with not making myself finish them if I'm not into it. I get where you're coming from, Tyler, but I don't know. Like I don't like forcing myself to play something. It's supposed to be a leisure, so like I will drag myself across the finish line if it's a long game and I'm very close to the end, just because it feels stupid not to.
Yeah.
That's kind of the exception, though.
For me, it seems like when a video game starts to feel like work,
Like an
that's when it's
obligation.
time to
Yep.
to put it down. Unless I'm like Brian was saying, I will do that sometimes on games that like, I was playing the Lego Harry Potter game, and I was very close to getting 100%, but I was like done with that game and I didn't want to play it anymore. But it was my first platinum trophy on my PlayStation, so I decided to just drag myself across that finish line, as you said, Brian, and plow through that to try to just get it done. But then as a result, like I have had no interest because it's both versions. You get years 1 through 4 and then years 5 through 7. I have barely touched the second one because I just kind of oversaturated myself with the first one.
Give it some time. You'll find the love again.
Yeah.
What about you, Kat?
Yes and no. No for games like The Witness. No. Mm-mm.
Oh yeah. Fuck
But-
finishing that game.
There's a challenge threshold where like if it proves to just be too much of a chore, then you're like, okay, I'm done.
But like Final Fantasy X, I had to fight Sin multiple times, but I swore at that game up and down, and I was not stopping. I was done with it, but I couldn't put it down because I had to complete it.
Yeah.
I had to get the end story. I couldn't just go watch it on YouTube. I had to earn that goddamn story.
Mhm.
So with games like RPGs, I have to finish them. Have to. Like Persona 5, I'm going to have to finish that game.
Right.
One runs a little long. That's one where I was just like this fucking thing's ended 3 times. Like, just give me the credits. Like, they
Send
really
the
drag
hobbits
out
into
the
the
end on
west. Let's
that.
go.
Spoilers.
That story can be a driving factor too if you're really engaged in the story, but the combat doesn't. Uncharted is one for me that I pulled myself through because the story's so engaging, but the combat, the gameplay did not engage me much at all, and I hated it, and I was getting real frustrated, especially at the very end of the game, but I wanted to see how the story ended, so I finished it, but I did not have fun doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just depends. It depends on genre and stuff like that too. Like if it's a story game, if it's like something like oh, I don't know. When we were playing through like Life is Strange and Gone Home and those games, I didn't really feel like I had to finish them, but like not finishing them wasn't even an option. Like
Absolutely.
I couldn't imagine getting to
Absolutely.
like any particular point in those games and then just being like, oh well, if I don't come back to it, I don't come back to it. Like I think Vito, our friend Vito, who was on the show while we were talking about that stuff, he's never finished Life is Strange, and he was kind of like, oh well, you guys kind of made it sound like that goes a place that I didn't really want to go, so I just felt like leaving it and calling it good.
Yeah, I think he got a whiff of chapter 5 and just like, I don't think I'm up for that.
It doesn't.
It's rough.
It looks it looks like it's gonna go real rough, and it does. So, yeah, I can kind of blame him for it. I don't hold it against him, but yeah, I don't know. There's a weird like sunk cost thing going on too with a lot of. I mean, they're big purchases, you know. Especially you're spending $60 on a video game.
Yeah.
If you feel like you didn't get your money's worth out of it, that can be I don't know, at least for me, that can be a driving factor of just like, well, I should at least see the thing through, you know. But there's a lot on my list that Far Cry 4, you know, Shadow of War. There's some big games that I grabbed at launch that I still haven't finished. So we shall see. Old Game of the Year 2018 is still
Up for grabs.
it's a contested category for me. So yeah.
Doom.
Wasn't Doom on our? Was
Who
it
are
just
we
this
kidding?
year?
Old-
that we
You
got
didn't
Doom?
finish it though.
Old
I
game
didn't
of the year
finish
for
it, yeah.
2018 is going to be Hollow Knight for the Switch.
Well, for you, yeah.
No, for you, Tyler.
Is it though? I don't feel like I'm gonna try to give Hollow Knight, 2 years in a row. I love that game, but come on, Crane. Oh man. Well,
Oh, it's gonna be the virtual console for Switch.
there you go. Yep.
Oh,
Keep holding
God,
your breath,
please
Luke.
let that,
They're
please
gonna
let
do it
that be a
eventually.
thing,
I'm
Luke.
sure. of it.
Don't tease me here. I want to play Super Mario RPG so bad, but I don't want to go and download an emulator and do it, and I don't want to have to go and spend like $70 for a cartridge for your Super Nintendo for that one now. Like, I don't want to do these things. I just want it on my Switch, and please let it happen. Let it happen, Luke.
Okay,
Well,
I'll let it happen.
I'm sure
Tell
that will happen
Nintendo-
for
It was
you.
that easy.
Tell
Thank
them,
you, Luke.
tweet at Nintendo that they need to get this out here, please.
They've never heard that before.
That'll teach them. Well, folks, that's gonna do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode 72. Glad you could be here. You can catch us next week, same time, same place. Twitch.tv/questlogcast. You can get the show at questlogcast.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're kind of all over the place. Just look for Questlogcast. And thanks to Visager for the intro and outro music, the music we're playing all the time. If you guys can't hear me, it's fine. You don't need to worry about that. And yeah, just tune in next week. Send us an email, mail@questlogcast.com. Do that. And have a great week. All of you.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Man, fuck Skype. You can take that one to the bank.